What is up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Jermaine Event, Main on MMA, and today we are checking out another video from the GOAT GeeKay, and it is about why Terence Crawford hates Gervonta Tank Davis. You know, I would say Terence Crawford, I wouldn't put Bud in this group, but I always thought that there was a weird buddy thing going on with a group of guys like years ago, maybe like the Haney, the Tanks, the Shakur. They were all like in this buddy Floyd Mayweather system, but then they all became like top dudes at around the same weight class, and they're just not fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure why Bud Crawford hates Tank Davis. We're going to find out here together, ladies and gents. But I feel like it's got to be something like that. And Tank is a convicted woman beater. Tank is a convicted woman beater. Let's not let's not forget about that. Let's not overlook it. I was like, he's trying to be just like Floyd Mayweather, another convicted woman beater. They're amazing in the ring, but let's not forget who they are outside of the ring. But let's see what Terence Crawford, let's see why he feels this way about Tank Davis.
Tank Davis and Terence Crawford go from noticeable and recognizable to undisputed household names in the sport of boxing, with both having the media in their grips, patiently waiting on what their next move will be. And while normally boxers that campaign in different weight classes that realistically have no chance of crossing paths competitively get along just fine, these two have been throwing shots at each other for years, with each interaction getting progressively more aggressive, with everyone wondering whether this was just a byproduct of being competitive athletes or if the two really didn't like each other behind the scenes, until Terence Crawford came out and publicly spelled it out for everyone.
I really don't like him. I don't like.
Just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him.
Shit, let him know.
No, I don't like nothing about him.
And in this video, I'll go over where it started, how it went bad, and why the two will likely never get along. The recency bias towards Terence Crawford has a lot of people forgetting that just a few short years ago, he was still desperately trying to cement his name in boxing history by securing a fight against another welterweight standout in Errol Spence Jr., who was more popular with both the fans and the media, resulting in a dynamic where from
so many people, I was like, they were on the side of Spence. They thought it was, it's going to be a close fight, but I think Spence is going to take it. I was like, he's going to knock that dude out. It was me and my boy Don. Shout out to Don, coworker. If you ever see this, Don. Don's an older guy. He might be in his 70s and maybe 60s. He's an older guy. And he's got autographed pictures of like, there's like a photo, it's got like George Foreman, I think Muhammad Ali, like it's like 4 boxers, whatever. He's an old school boxing fan. And me and him are the only ones that were really paying attention. Bud was gonna whoop this boy. Everybody else was believing the hype for Spence. I was like, that dude's not that good. He hasn't fought since, has he? I don't think so.
From the outside looking in, it seemed like Crawford was the one chasing him down, while Spence didn't fully appreciate the significance of their potential fight.
He said, I'm fighting Mikey, then I might fight Sean Porter, Keith Thurman.
So he didn't
Pacquiao.
mention Terence, huh?
He didn't.
And being that Crawford was promoted by Top Rank and Spence was with rival PBC, the media took the stance that Crawford was simply on the wrong side of the street. And so it was up to him to make this fight happen if he wanted to go down as one of the welterweight greats, while no such pressure was applied to Spence, and naturally this frustrated Crawford to no end. At times, even getting him to the point of feeling like a Spence matchup was no longer worth the stress that he was going through to make it happen.
There's no such thing as a wrong side of the street in the sport of boxing. When you look at it, Deontay Wilder is about to fight Tyson Fury, and you never heard anything about wrong side of the street, PBC or Top Rank. It's just something that they say when they got Terence Crawford to do with it. You know, you don't never hear wrong side of the street with any other fighter but Terence Crawford. You know, then the media say, oh, well, he's on the wrong side of the street, he should have signed with PBC. But why all these other fights get made, but when it's Terence Crawford, he's on the wrong side of the street?
I don't need Spence. You know, I've been the #1 guy in the division since I came here. 3-weight world champion, you know what I mean? Like, undisputed world champion. you know, come in the welterweight division, my first fight, and win the title. Like, the things
Let 'em know,
that I've
bud.
been doing in my whole career is nothing compared to Spence.
And at the time, PBC adjacent fighters, collectively feeling like they were on the right side of the street, would often support each other publicly. And it was during this time we first heard comments diminishing Crawford's ability as a boxer, courtesy of PBC fighter Gervonta "Tank" Davis.
If Earl fight him today, next week, next month, Earl would knock him out.
Delusion.
Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford's good, but he's not what people make him seem. He's not pound for pound.
But once the Spence fight was finally made, despite all of the previous drama, a rejuvenated Crawford went on the media tour where it became clear that he was extremely excited to make all of the naysayers and doubters eat their words.
You gotta make some adjustments though. This is Earl Spence we talking.
Nah.
This ain't no just.
This the guy that you had picked over
I did.
me.
I
huh?
did.
He picked him over.
I remember. I remember. Yeah. I don't forget.
I got Earl. I do got Earl.
Yeah.
Not because you're not great. I just think, you know, styles make fights. I think
He's not that good.
Definitely.
Given their previous history and his high profile, Tank Davis was also asked about the fight, and once again he wrote Crawford off, reiterating that he believed that Spence will come out on top, dropping his famous line about glass and metal shields.
Okay, imagine we in a, let's just say we in a gunfight, right?
Yeah.
And I got a metal shield, and the opposite person got a glass shield. Who gonna come out on top?
The guy with the metal shield.
That's all I'm saying. I don't care about how much he run around. Once them hands get on him, it's gonna slow him down. And once
oh yeah, definitely if he touch him,
he really think Bud's soft.
Clean, he'll break him down.
Ain't no if. He gonna touch him.
And around this
really,
time, Tanks,
this nigga really think he's soft. That's crazy. The disrespect to a great. This is crazy.
Seemed to be getting especially annoyed with Terence Crawford, likely because of his status as Shakur Stevenson's mentor, who began to call Tank out almost as soon as he started his professional boxing career.
I ain't scared of no Tank. I ain't scared of nobody. I'm a dog.
And during a 2022 episode of the podcast Chicken Talk, Tank decided to go at Crawford a bit harder and said that he himself would knock him out if the two met at welterweight.
At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
I tap that trend. You know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know
he ain't got no chance.
And while Crawford didn't issue a response for a while, he definitely kept this in the back of his mind, because despite how he's sometimes perceived as being laid back and letting things roll off his shoulders, in reality he's ultra competitive and has an ego, so he takes it very personally when other fighters call him out. For example, take a look at how he reacted to Gary Russell Jr., saying that he punched him when they were younger and that he could go up and wait and beat him now.
Dude, we don't even gotta fight in the ring. If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world knows it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring.
Oh my God.
If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
So it goes without saying that once Crawford demolished Spence, he systematically confronted everyone that went against him before the fight, starting with boxing reporter Ellie Seckbach.
Well, I've been telling each and every one of y'all for years. A lot of y'all over here looking sad. You looking like the ridiculous dude over there because you was going against me. You know what I mean? But all in all, you know, I get to say I told y'all.
But I'm man enough to tell you.
Okay.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was wrong. And sometimes men.
So say sorry.
Oh, man.
No, say sorry. Get off me.
This nigga did it with a.
I mean, I gave myself.
Don't touch me, nigga. You see that shrug? That's don't touch me.
He said, "I'm wrong sports pick."
And say you're a loser.
Say it all.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if an apology is necessary, but I was dead wrong.
Say you sorry for being dead wrong.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize for picking Earl Spence over you.
And when the question about Tank Davis was finally asked, he did not hold back.
I saw Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that's moving up 2 weight classes and, you know, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin. So tell him come and touch it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Come touch it, bro. Pause.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147, I'll make 147 for him.
As soon as these comments started making rounds throughout the boxing scene and people began to debate how plausible a matchup between the two would actually be, Tank's coach, Calvin Ford, quickly shut down the possibility by saying that Tank was only joking for attention.
He was just playing around.
Yeah, he's playing.
Tank does that,
That's
know,
crazy.
An eyebrow out of people. Like, you know how the
He was
Rock,
just playing
he
around.
put the eyebrow out, and he did get it. That's just like when they talk about N-Way. You know what I'm saying? He's weight classes down too, and everybody said something about that fight.
So you think both of those fights are unrealistic, Crawford and N-Way?
Man, right now we just worrying about that contract coming across our desk and who we get.
Yeah, that's crazy. Somebody at work asked me, they were like, niggas that know that I watch fights and shit. They was like, you think Tank gonna fight Inoue? And I'm like, no. I'm like, he's so much bigger than him. Y'all just be listening to this random ass hype. Like, if you watch ESPN, they'll throw out just any name they've heard of with no regard. They have no idea what the weight classes are. The weight classes in UFC or MMA, depending on the league, are different. Like, what the weights are and what they call those weight classes, dude. It's different all over every sport. So usually these commentators, like on stuff like ESPN or Fox, unless it's like Max Kellerman, they usually don't know what the fuck they're talking about at all. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Tank is talking trash, and you're in so many weight classes below. And the coach is like, he was just playing. He was just playing.
Tank Davis and Terence Crawford have completely different mentalities when it comes to the sport of boxing. Both fight for money, but Terence also greatly cares about his legacy, which is why he's currently the underdog, going up 2 weight classes to face Saul Canelo Alvarez. While the most common criticism against Tank has been that while he's extremely talented, he never takes risks or faces off against boxers that will prove to be an actual challenge to somebody with a skill set. And while the criticism seems to get to him a lot, causing him to lash out, he'll be the first one to tell you that he primarily cares about money and minimizing the risk of losing.
I don't care about belts and I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about none of that. Yeah, I worry about getting my money and getting out of here. That's what I worry about.
But even still, he also has an ego, so when he didn't get an invite to the Ring Magazine Gala, he lashed out at the Ring Magazine owner Turki Al-Sheikh, who he had previously brushed off working with, saying that he didn't need him and calling him a rat. To which Terence Crawford responded, poking fun at the fact that he was upset that he wasn't invited, which caused an intense back and forth on X.
He owns Ring Magazine. You gonna trash the dude that owns Ring Magazine and get mad when you don't get invited to his event? What are we talking about?
Between the two, where Terence called out Tank for avoiding challenging fights and also hit him where it really hurt, questioning whether or not Tank really made more money than him as he claimed. And being that this is what Tank cares about the most, he really went low in response and attacked Crawford's wife's physical appearance, saying that she was 380 pounds with 8 kids, so he was forced to work overtime, and this immediately took their disagreements from the confines of the sport of boxing to Terence genuinely not liking him in real life.
I just felt like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's, using what he got to shield him. Like, he got a lot of security guards around him, and he know, he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter. I respect him as a fighter. He definitely got skills, he got power, he got tremendous boxing ability, but like his core personality and his ways, nah.
Okay. Nah. Obviously your little brother, Shakur, that's the fight. Everybody want to see that. That's the 50-50, I think, I've been saying 50-50. I told both of them that. That's a toss-up to me. No bias. Don't just say that because it's your man. Who you got winning that?
I got Shakur.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Like, boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
We're gonna take his personality and personal things out of it, but boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur's a different fighter. You know, Shakur's different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that. He knows that. That's why he's like, he's boring. He's this, he's that. He's trying to diminish everything that Shakur have done, so it's not marketable.
We're at the point now where every ounce of success that Terence experiences, especially if it's financial, feels like a personal attack to Tank. Crawford represents the type of fighter that everyone says that Davis is not. Somebody that's willing to take on any challenge just because a lot of people are saying that he can't. So it goes without saying that if Crawford loses to Canelo in September, Tank will have an absolute field day. But if he wins, knowing that it ruined Tank's night will make the victory.
Nah, just trying to take that fight is great. That's greatness. Taking that fight is greatness. Even if he loses, it's still great for going in there.
Exponentially sweeter for Terence Crawford. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.
Shout out to the homie GeeKay. Dope video once again. I didn't know the history there. I think I see some things with beef. I mean, on Twitter, I didn't know that it was actual beef. I just knew that people were tweeting sassily, like real sassy tweets back and forth between like Crawford and Davis, or just a bunch of people. Even I would see Shakur in there, and he would be diminishing Shakur. But I'm like, these people are never fighting each other. All right, these people are never fighting each other. So why are we even playing this game? Is how I felt. But maybe one day it'll happen. But as I'm looking at that, and people like Tank are saying, I don't need Turkey, right? He's publicly saying, I don't need Turkey. And Bud is saying that he's publicly trying to diminish Shakur Stevenson. Everything he's doing is to make it seem that that fight isn't feasible to the people. Nobody wants to see that fight. It's not too marketable. But also, he's already publicly denounced Turkey, the guy who more than likely would be able to put that whole fight together. All right. Ring Magazine, Turkey, Saudi Arabia. He would be able to put this fight together, but Tank has already publicly denounced him and called him a rat. I don't know why that's okay. That sounds crazy to me. Sounds like Tank is scared of Shakur. It looks like, dude, when he was this whole glass shield, metal shield, I think the metal shield will only save you to a point if we're in a gunfight, my guy. But that's just me. I was like, I think it's a bad analogy. But but anywho, well, what kind of metal? How tough is this metal? Anywho, that's neither here nor there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about Bud and Tank's beef, man. Like, Tank will definitely not fight Bud. The second that it seems like it could be a possibility, but Tank's coach comes out and says, yo, he was just playing. He was just playing. He don't want none of that. That's the funniest part of this whole thing to me, is that the coach came out and was like, no, there's weight classes. Like, he's basically like, there's a weight class for a reason. Tank is talking shit like, yeah, I want that action. And his coach comes out like, he's just playing. There's weight classes. He's just playing. That's hilarious. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment. Head on over to GeeKay's channel. Give him a like. Give him a subscribe. Tell him I sent you. And once again, thank you guys for being here. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. And I will see you guys when I see you guys. I'll holla.